Hello, my name is Sam Askham. My student number is 2339897, and this is my presentation on where I am now, where I want to be in terms of a job, and how I'm going to get there. So where am I now? I feel like I can effectively work in a team, but I've also got the ability to be a leader, so I can communicate really well with other people in the team. And if somebody needs to go out there and lead the task or the group discussion or even a lesson, I feel like I've got every ability to go and do that. I have got a good level IT skills. I wouldn't say I'm a tech wizard and I can take a PC apart and do everything, but I know how to work everything. So where I want to be, I would like to be some form of a teacher. The reason I've left it vague is because what avenue of teaching, I'm not 100% sure yet. So I've kind of, tried to pick some things that are transferable across them all, such as maybe a sports coach or a teacher at college or university, or even a driver trainer. So I feel like the essential bits of knowledge that you would need is you need to be able to understand behaviour in a classroom and be able to manage it. I would say with my experiences that I've had, I'm able to do that. Do I think I have got a lot more room to improve? Yes, 100% definitely. Probably one thing that I'm probably not really confident on in terms of knowledge is probably chunking lessons together and scaffolding, focusing working helping students or a group of students build something up towards a set curriculum. I've never done that before, so I've got no experience. I'm not really confident in doing that. However, the essential experience I feel like that you need to be a teacher is by going out there and doing it. At college, I volunteered a lot, covering some college lessons or maybe the younger years. Even at university now, I've covered a lot of lessons. I've done a lot of things. Obviously, I've got a coaching job on the side, so I've got a lot of experience in that aspect, and I am very confident that I can go out there and teach a lesson. One thing I would like to improve on though, and I feel like it could, take my teaching ability to the next level, is being a bit more confident with SEN children. I've worked with a couple, but obviously I would like to improve on that more, so then I'm more diverse. And if somebody comes into my class that is an SEN child, I am fully able and capable to get the best out of them and their learning. Essential skills I feel like you need to be a teacher is keeping calm, keeping a cool head in certain situations. I would say I am sometimes good at this, but I would say I have a lot of room to improvement. Sometimes I might need like a 10-minute break to go and, go and have a walk, calm myself down. I feel like I can improve on this, and I am working on this, and I do believe that is something that I need. However, one thing and a skill that I am very confident on that is essential to being a teacher is being able to articulate yourself well. If you can't articulate yourself well and get your point across, then I feel like that your students aren't really going to benefit and they're not really going to learn massively from what you're trying to say. Now, obviously, if you can't articulate yourself well, students can become confused. They kind of get the wrong end of the stick. They don't really know what's happening. So being able to articulate yourself well means everybody can understand. Everybody knows what they need to go do, and everybody can go do that. And I am very confident in that I can articulate myself well. So, what skills are employees looking for being a teacher? I feel like you need leadership, communication, problem solving, strategic thinking, adaptability, teamwork, and digital skills. And I feel like I have got a good level of leadership. I have led tasks before, led lessons, when we've been at university and they're like, right, we're going to have children in today, so and so, can you lead this? I'm always one of the first to be like, yeah, let's go, do you know what I mean? Let's run it. I'm ready. I have got the ability to lead and be a leader. I would say what helps with me being a leader is communication. I feel like because I can articulate myself very well, I kind of get visions in my head of like where I want to go, what I want to do for this lesson, and I feel like being able to articulate myself well and explaining and communicating what I want to do, how I want to do it, the effect that I want to have whilst doing it, why am I doing this? That helps me being a leader, because if somebody can look at a leader and get on board with what they're saying and understand their vision and their plan for maybe a lesson or maybe a 10-minute discussion group thing, it's always going to be better. So I feel like that the leadership and the communication come hand in hand sometimes. Now, being a problem solver and strategic thinking, I would say these also kind of link together, because if you're a good problem solver and you obviously, if something goes wrong within your plan and you're quickly able to solve that problem, it then kind of leads into the strategic thinking. So if you plan a lesson and you're already strategically thinking what could go wrong, I don't want to sit so and so next to so and so, or I don't want to do this, or I'm not going to say this, or do you know what I mean? I feel like there's a different strategy to thinking and how, people and teachers get their points across. And I feel like you can be very strategic with it. You can analyze certain people, and it's very important in that aspect to be able to do that. Adaptability. I would say that this is probably the biggest, the best. I know I've said they're all important. Like I've been sat here saying they're all important, but this one, think you're a chameleon. That's the best way I can put it. A chameleon adapts to any situation. If you can walk into a room or into a classroom and you can notice that this person might be boisterous or this person's a little bit quiet, you're going to have to tackle them people in different ways. You're going to have to adapt to them type of people that you're teaching. As well as this, if you've planned your lesson to be in a certain room and then now your lesson is not in that room for whatever reason, you are going to have to adapt to that. You're going to have to adapt your lesson on the spot. And I feel like that this is very important because things are going to go wrong in your career. Things just happen. It's life. Things are going to go wrong. You're going to have to adapt to situations, and being able to adapt to situation allows not only you as a teacher getting the most out of your students, but it also gets your students to understand you a little bit. Like, what is he trying to get at? What is he trying to teach? What's he trying to show us here? And teamwork is, it's a big thing as well because, teachers often don't work on themselves. Like if you're in a high school, a college, a primary school, even at university, you're going to have different lecturers. So if I'm a teacher and I might be teaching so-and-so for one subject and then, my colleague might teach me another, you need to be able to work in a team and come up together the best different types of strategies that you're going to be able to get the best out of some of your students. And the digital skills part, without saying, I understand from my personal experiences at college and university now, it is a big thing. Everything's done online, like PowerPoint, Word, Teams. It is very good. So being able to have them digital skills, it's very important in terms of being able to teach. However, so moving on to my voluntary experiences that I have had. Throughout my time at college, I've volunteered for different open evenings, running events outside of college times, such as FIFA tournaments at Cineworld that I did once. Furthermore, whilst I was at college, I did talks at an event for British esports, where people from high up in educational places they come to see what esports could offer and how it could be used as another form of learning for different students. Now, I feel like this leads me quite on well to my experience. I've led different summer camps in my job outside with different age groups ranging from 6 to 16. Furthermore, I've taught lessons at college students, primary students, secondary students. I have got a lot of experience in these different aspects. So finally, how I'm going to get there? Well, I want to finish my university course, which is esports coaching and teaching. However, it is applied sports, so that allows me to go into any other subject in sports if I wanted to do that. It's more keys, more doors. I want to carry on working for the sports company that I'm working for. I believe learning on the job, it offers me a different aspect of not only coaching but behavioural management as well. And one thing else I want to do is complete an online course from England Football, which is a free online course which allows me to understand different patterns in behaviour, and it's a safeguarding course. There's one for adults, there's one for children, and I feel that that's very important to be able to understand a grasp of, if you see a problem, you're going to do that. I feel like that I've already got the most of the necessary experiences that I would need. I just need to further continue these, but this online course that's free can help me as a person understand safeguarding issues and how to tackle them in adults and in children, so then I can carry on that forward into hopefully when I become a teacher. Well, obviously, like I said, the England Football Learning, it's got adult courses and children courses, so whatever aspect I want to go into, whatever age range I want to go, I feel like I can go there and learn that and be able to do that effectively.